So I just want to address an issue that is pretty prevalent around Florida residents. Really, everybody who spends time in Florida, camping or traveling or whatever, but especially for us Florida residents. Things fill up quickly in the winter. We are in the first week of November, and almost all the campsites are full, and I hear from everybody, you can't get a campsite. Well, I actually booked two really sought after parks last night, and I had to keep checking. I checked once a week. I don't go crazy, but there's a couple of tricks to do this. Number one, people randomly book sites as far ahead as they can. And in Florida, if you're a Florida resident, we can book 1 month earlier than other, or 1 month further out than non-residents. And that seems fair. It's our state, But I don't know what I'm going to be doing a year from now. And so I tend not to do that. But a lot of people do that, and they end up canceling them because they just kind of grab good sites, good parks, thinking, well, what if we can go? And then they find out that they can't go. They can't get time off, or they're not going to be in Florida after all. And so they cancel them. So it's really good to keep checking. Also, there are Facebook pages that are called catch and release groups. And I know there's one in Florida, and there's one in Georgia, and there's probably one in almost every state. But what they are is people who have booked, like I told you before, booked a site and then figured out they're not going to be able to go. Or last minute someone got sick or something happened and they had to change them. And those sites, sometimes they will do what is called coordinate with you. And I think what they do is they're like, hey, I'm going to be dropping site C84 at 2:00 p.m. and you be ready to grab it. I don't know how quick they come back up, because sometimes when I'm checking out, if I take more than 15 minutes to get checked out, it will already show, it won't be in my cart anymore, but will show unavailable, because technically they see it in my cart. So anyway, they'll go like, well, I'm going to release it at 2:30 and you be ready to grab it and you be online. And I haven't done that. I have seen people who have just said, hey, I'm going to cancel it, but they don't have time to coordinate, and I understand that too. But they're given a heads up, which I think is great, because there's nothing more discouraging than going to a park, a campground that you really wanted certain sites and everything shows booked, and so you get a not too good site just so you can go, and then you see the site that you looked at is empty because people just do no-shows. So for those of you who cancel it, thank you on behalf of all the rest of us campers. That is good campground etiquette, and I for one appreciate it. So here's my number one tip. If you are checking often like I do for cancellations, or if you belong to a catch and release site or whatever, if there's a park or a campground that you know you want to be at, it would be a good idea to know ahead of time what sites you want, because not everybody can or want to grab just any site. Trailer length goes into effect. I, for one, I love pull-throughs because I'm not that good at backing up yet. If I'm bringing my SUV camper and not my camper, I don't care what site I get. It could be a back end, it could be small. I don't care. But what I do is I go on YouTube, and there are campground tours, many campground tours, and I look and see what they look like, and I will. I have a running notebook about this, and I mark my favorite sites and why. Like, okay, this one is a pull-through. This one is small. This one would be good for the SUV, but not for the trailer. And because if someone is canceling it real quick, or there's a catch and release situation, you don't want to then go, oh, well, let me look at the sites. You need to know ahead of time these are the sites I want, these are the sites I do want. Because there's a lot of them that I'm like, no, there's no way I would want that. Even if it was given to me, I wouldn't take it. So be prepared is my number one tip. Know the campgrounds that you want to go to. I don't really watch TV other than YouTube anyway, so I spend a lot of time investigating campgrounds that I would like to go to in the future, parks that I'd like to go to in the future, state parks, Corps of Engineer campgrounds, all that kind of stuff. So be prepared. Know the park you want to go to and know your sites. Have your notebook where, oh, well, I'm releasing such and such, and you can go, oh, is that one I want? And you can book it quickly. Be ready. I know in Georgia and in Florida, you only have 15 or 20 minutes to check out. So you need to be ready to go, have all your information there, and be ready to go. So my number one tip for grabbing a last minute site is to be prepared. Okay, and now I want to talk to you about some of the really sought after let's just say state park campgrounds, because there are several in the Panhandle and on the other coast that are very, very popular. They're very hard to get. And I'm not going to mention them by names. You do your own homework. But if you look at videos about those, the campgrounds themselves are not really close to the beach. Some of them are. Some of them are right on the beach. But some of them, you have to take a tram, or you have to have an e-bike, which I don't have an e-bike. I wish I did. You have to get in your vehicle, and if you van camp, or if you have a motorhome or whatever, you don't really want to break camp to drive to the beach. And if you look at it, the day use areas are sometimes actually more enticing than the campground themselves. And let's say that you want to go, let's say in the Pensacola area, and you want to go to a certain beach in the winter. You're like me, I'm pale, I don't like to burn. I love going to the beaches in the cool weather, and I love camping in the cool weather. And well, let's say you really just want to go somewhere for the experience of the beach. You want to enjoy the stuff during the day, but it really doesn't matter to you where you sleep. Well, if you can't get a campsite, or you find out it's really not even going to be as, let me just say this. I travel with my dog, Riley, and that's another reason I travel during the cool weathers. Let's say I'm not going to leave him in a campground, because most places they're not, dogs aren't allowed on the beach anyway, or you have to go to a neighboring beach to get there. If I'm in a day use area and he's in the car, or he's in the trailer, because there's room to park your trailer in the day use area, I'm going to be closer to him in the day use area than some of these campgrounds if the campground is farther away from the beach. So why not go enjoy what you want to see during the day, but go to a neighboring campground that's maybe 20, 30 minutes away, not on the beach? Or if you're like me, I love to stay at Cracker Barrel because I'm only sleeping. I only go there to sleep and eat. I always eat either dinner or breakfast. Or I shop. Unfortunately, I love Cracker Barrel's gift shop, but I always spend money at a Cracker Barrel when I stay. I never just go pull in and then leave. I give them some of my business always. And don't leave a mess. Clean up after yourself. Don't take spaces that you shouldn't be in. Be polite so that we don't use this wonderful resource that we have with Cracker Barrel. Also, I've been known to stay at rest areas, and there are almost always, especially in Florida, we have a lot of good rest areas, and we have a lot of them. So, why not go see what you want to see during the day, take your trailer, take your camper, take your van. You have what you need. If you want to eat in your van or you want to fix dinner in your trailer, park it in the day use area. Go have your lunch there, check on your animals, visit the beach, visit whatever it is you want to see, the museums or whatever, and stay until they're closed, which is usually dusk, and then go sleep somewhere else. That's what I plan to do for some of these campgrounds that I have not been able to get sites at. But there are always workarounds. And then if you belong to online camper groups, I belong to a lot of senior women groups, put it out there and say, hey, I really would like to go to this campground, but I can't get a site. Does anyone have a site during this time? And would you want to share it? Sometimes people just want to split the cost because Florida, first of all, this is a pet peeve of mine, so this is a little side issue. To get your National Senior Park Pass, you have to be 62. To get a senior discount in Georgia, you have to be 62. To get a senior discount in Florida, you have to be 65, which why can't we just all be 62, you know? And then Florida adds a booking fee, they call it a booking fee, which the only way you can book is online, and it's like $7. I think you might be able to book on the phone, but it doesn't go well. At least online you can see what's available, you can move your dates around a little bit, and they charge a booking fee, which is like $7, and they charge a utility fee even if you don't use the utilities. My friend and I went to Florida Cavern State Park last week, and neither one of us even hooked up to utilities, but I still had to pay $7 or $6.70, I think, close to $7 for that. And so it's not cheap, but maybe there's someone out there who really would like to just share expenses and they have a booking. So, reach out and online and see what you can find. And then the other thing is, and this goes with where I said being prepared. Next to being prepared when you book something or when you get a cancellation, the next most important thing is to be flexible. If you are like me, I actually prefer to travel during the week anyway because my husband works and I'm involved in my church and I don't like to miss church, so I try to travel during the week. And that has allowed me to get some nicer sites because I'm flexible. Maybe you work still, like I work, but I work from home, so I'm in charge of my own schedule. Maybe you work online and you can actually work from the park, from your campsite. Being flexible really helps. So if you have that gift that you can be flexible, then you're blessed and you can probably make it work. I do feel sorry for the people who can only go on Friday nights and Saturday nights because it is hard to find anything, especially during the winter. So anyway, those are my tips. If you have any tips for the viewers, please put them in the comments. Just warning you, if you leave nasty comments, they will be deleted. I know some people don't think we should do Cracker Barrel or whatever, and that's none of your business. So, you do you. Everybody do you. Everybody do what you think is right. So, anyway, I just wanted to put those things out there. A lot of people think it's hopeless, and they're like, yeah, I'm not even going to try in Florida, or I'm not even going to try in Georgia. And I'm just proof that cancellations happen, and you got to keep checking back, and you got to be flexible, and you got to be prepared to book. When those things come up, you need to be ready to jump on it. Get them in your cart, be ready to check out in 15 minutes, and you should be fine. So that's all I got to say about that, and I will talk to you guys later.